Here is your No CrossTalk reminder. No CrossTalk is something that people are supposed to practice in their rooms of Codependents Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous, something anonymous, 12-step programs. Practice No CrossTalk. Why do we do this? Why does this happen? No CrossTalk is to keep the room safe. No CrossTalk is to help practice taking the focus off of other people and keeping the focus on yourself. What am I feeling? What am I thinking? The rooms want to know what's going on with you, what's going on inside. And when I'm doing crosstalk, I'm engaging in other stuff that's not for me. I'm taking away from someone else's share. I'm entering someone's space, and it's not helpful to them or to me. So no crosstalk is a guideline. We're not supposed to do these things. I'm not supposed to do crosstalk. And if I'm working a really good recovery, if I'm really trying to take this seriously, that should show up in my life. That should show up in my communication. My communication should start changing. As I change, all of this recovery stuff should start materializing, should start showing in my life. I become one person everywhere. I become that one person everywhere. I start becoming courageous and owning myself to be this unique and precious creation. But when I go to the rooms and I practice and I just keep going there and I keep working on how to be respectful, how to be focused on myself, and I reach out for that help, and I'm talking on the phone and I'm listening to the readings in the rooms, I get close to the center of me. So here's a little reminder on the crosstalk rules, the crosstalk guidelines, because they're not super rules, they're just guidelines. And I've been practicing these and I find them very helpful. And when I'm using crosstalk in my life, it helps me to be clearer with my communication. It helps me to be direct. It just helps me to be so much more truer in the way that I mean things. And the sincerity is, I just add so much sincerity when I'm speaking with people in my life. And it just takes away a lot of the fuzz and the static and the unnecessary things, and just really working with like straight through communication and direct and honest. And it just becomes like a cleaner, more efficient way to communicate. And I'm spending my energy in an efficient way. So no crosstalk guidelines it's lots of things. When you're in the rooms, it's any verbal or physical response to someone's share. It can be touching, it can be hugging, it can be using their name in the share, it can be getting comfort or receiving comfort from people in the rooms when the shares are going on or when that person is sharing. So it's like when you're leaving yourself, when you're caretaking, when I'm using someone's name, when I use names from other programs. Like crosstalk it's getting away from the center and the point. It's getting away from, what am I doing here, right? I'm coming to these rooms. I'm trying to feel. I'm trying to learn how to feel. I have a feelings disease. I have soul sickness, and I'm trying to focus on what happened here, what's going on inside. And then when the room is safe, I'm actually able to really start opening up and looking at those things. But when there's a bunch of crosstalk going on, it makes the rooms unsafe. And it can be very intimidating to open up about feelings in a room with strangers when you've never done that before. When you're going there and you need to get vulnerable to heal, then having crosstalk around, like having interrupting and having swearing and having people talking while you're talking during your share, that adds unsafe, like it makes it unsafe. And so that's not very respectful to to people when it's their time to share. And it's a little bit invasive, where you're just kind of getting in their space a little instead of letting people really have that floor. And the other thing about having no crosstalk is learning how to listen as well, not just learning how to get your message out, but like really listening to what those shares are doing, or what they're saying. And then what am I feeling when someone is sharing? What's going on for me here? What messages from my higher power are happening? What am I learning in that experience while that person is opening up about their deep thing? And is it triggering something inside myself that might need some healing? And then I have a chance to do my own work while someone is doing their work. But when I start crossing over to their side and getting involved in crosstalk and having fun and interrupting and whispering, or not being in the moment and not letting them have their respect of having the floor, is basically not following those crosstalk guidelines. So crosstalk guidelines, it's a bit restricting when you first come in and they say all these things you can't do. But when I really started working on these things, that's what I thought. I started working on these things, and I started to like the way that the crosstalk guidelines were. And then I started to use that in my life. And it just makes things lighter in a way. Like, it's just like a form of communication, respectful communication. It's like taking out the judgment. I'm not trying to rescue people. I'm not trying to take care of people. I'm really letting people say what they say. And then I'm not giving advice to that. I'm not commenting on it. I'm a part of the conversation, the share, and taking my steps carefully with that person that might have shared something vulnerable or personal. But it's not my job to get in there and start fixing. Like, I'm in Codependents Anonymous because I'm trying to not, be rescued, caretake. I'm not trying to fix anything but myself. Like, it's just like turning everything in towards myself even more. And then when something is going on outside there, it's to not just get so involved, just to like they're them, I'm me, and staying separate. So no crosstalk is just like a very amazing tool to just use in life in general and learn how to speak respectfully. It's one of my favorite gifts that I've gotten from recovery. And I definitely encourage to use this tool if you can in the rooms, because with that consistency of refraining, staying silent, like letting people have their time and floor, like letting things be separate, right, creates my own identity for myself. So really practicing that really refines certain things in myself, and it does help me keep the focus on myself, because I stop all of these things. Like, I find there's so many things that I stop in recovery that I'm mostly stopping a lot of things, and I'm just learning to do it. I'm doing a few more healthy things. I'm trading in a lot of unhealthy to learn like a good few handfuls of strong, healthy tools. And to me, like that's recovery for me. It's like getting rid of a lot of things that I don't need, that don't work, that hurt other people, that hurt myself, that keep me emotionally unavailable. I'm trading in so much of that useless garbage of stuff to come in and use really efficient recovery tools to change this unit, how I operate in this world, which makes me so much more efficient in every single relationship. And every single relationship that becomes healthy in my life gives me so much more. And then I'm able to give so much more in those healthier relationships. And if I still have some unhealthy relationships in my life, I have tools to operate in those healthy relationships. And then I have, self-worth and strength and courage and discernment to know when to leave and go and what to say and what not to say. But I didn't know any of those things before Coda. I learned a few things in AA, but I really got down to the roots of things in Coda and buckled down. And my work in this stuff has just been learning to refrain a lot from a lot of things and really just staying in my seat in all possible ways. Like, I'm in the room and I'm practicing there in a safe place to stay in my seat with my lips closed, my ears open, my heart open, my mind open. And I'm practicing how to receive the information. I'm practicing how to feel when I hear that information. There's a whole lot of communication that can happen if I start really turning on all my senses and all my awarenesses. And I come to those rooms, I practice just, really opening up, really, really learning how to listen with everything. And it takes time to do that. And then, close up, not to stay open and be like that for everyone everywhere, but learning where to how, and then where to be, where it is safe to be open like that. So recovery it's given me so much. This is just a little reminder on CrossTalk Guidelines, because I love CrossTalk so much, so why not bring it up again? But it's really helped a lot of my relationships. It's just like helped me not, really stop that advice, like really stop getting involved in other people's conversations where my input isn't appreciated at all, Honestly, most of the time my input's not appreciated. It's just better if I don't say too much. Just there's some stuff to listen to at certain places, but in those rooms and with my higher power and in my readings, like that's where I get that real spiritual message. And like with my sponsor or people that are really working the program, but not to be open everywhere all the time. It's just certain times, right? So lots of practice, lots of consistency, and lots of stopping these little things. Like it can be very overlooked. Like, oh, who cares if I just swear a little, or, if I talk too long, like, so, oversharing. For long sharing, that's a form of crosstalk. Emotional dumping, like when too much detail's coming out, it's as like, I got to talk to my sponsor. I got to stop here. I'm over my time limit. Like, it's very self-awareness here and respect for the entire group. Like, respectful for myself and then respectful for the group. And then if I'm emotionally dumping and it's getting too much, it turns into some what do you call it? Self-seeking, like I'm building self-esteem in a not a very healthy way because I'm seeking that attention. Like, it's not about that outside fill to fill the inside. Like, this is about learning how to be open and closed, where to do that, and what behaviors can I stop, what things can I start. But mostly I remove a lot of things and add a few good, efficient things. Like, that's how my recovery's been going today. So no crosstalk is honestly just like becoming like a monk in the room, quiet to listen, as just like a supportive listener, and not getting involved in people's share, not commenting on them in the room. There has to be just nothing. It has to just be like this is your turn. I am here to listen to you. So thank you so much. This is my little bit on crosstalk. So see you at the next one. Bye.